Well, here we are back again. Gosh, I'm glad everybody's sticking with us this whole year of special edition of GMID Day that is with our official sponsor, Efficient Health Solutions, right, Bruce?
Oh yeah, my favorite mug.
I'm glad you think so too, because it's we're going to be using it all day because we're going to have Randy Clark on here a little bit later here to talk a little bit more about efficient health solutions and how you, the viewers, can be covered for your health insurance as well. But first, let's talk about the food professor. This was a fascinating conversation. Do you agree?
Man, listen, I he was just hitting so many touch points. Some of them hurt, but it was the truth, especially when it came to inflation. But absolutely, I agree 100%.
Yeah, he is representing Canada. So since we're covering all of North America, because we had Michelle earlier representing Mexico, and I mean, the expertise that he has. I don't know if you listened to the bio or not, but the expertise and the experience that he has regarding food and beverage is something that the hospitality industry really needs to embrace because he goes, like I mentioned, talking to him, he goes so deep into the agricultural side
Yeah.
of and the management side of food and how it works and why it works. I was fascinated by that conversation. It was just I could have talked to him for hours.
One of I started out in accounting, so one of the thing that really took it home for me was the inflation rates. Like you don't know when the food item is going to go back in stock. I was just at a grocery store the other day, and it's a big brand. It's a big brand in Florida and in the South, and they didn't have cream cheese for 2 months. 2 months, like no Philadelphia over here. Okay, so if you know that your food cost is going to go up, by 30 to 60%, just the way inflation is moving. So a lot of people they're just hedging their bets, and they're purchasing with a higher increase in prices by 30-40% because they don't know what's going to happen. Or if you can afford it, you're just going to have to run your food inventory higher, double it, triple it, if you can afford it, if you have the cash flow to do it, because you already know that that item may not be in stock or it's going to be 30 to 40% higher than what it used to be at the from the date that you actually booked that event. So it's it's
Right.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you told the story about your personal story, and it's like, gosh, that just happened to me last weekend. I had to get some butter at the grocery store, and the tubs is what I usually buy, and
Mhm.
now they're almost like $5. Well, the sticks are like $1.19, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I have to do the sticks, even though I had to buy a butter dish to put the
Mhm.
sticks in. But yeah, it's really challenging us, and that is a new issue for the hospitality industry is the cost, because we did talk about the budgeting, and his answer to that for any meeting and event professional out there is to secure it now.
Mhm.
Get those menus, confirmed as quickly as you can. Sit down with the chef and your convention coordinator or catering director or manager and get on those menus immediately, because like he said, they are not coming down, they're going up even more. So I'm hoping the viewers, those meeting and event professionals that are listening out there right now, definitely get your menus solidified immediately, because it's all about managing those expectations, like the food professor said, and knowing the food distribution channels and being more educated to it than just going, okay, well, we need chicken and for lunch and beef for dinner. Let's get more educated on some new options out there as well.
Yeah, the chicken price hasn't changed. It's just the delivery cost has changed. It went from $1 per delivery to $5 to deliver the same chicken. So
It's crazy. It's crazy. And then we also talked about, the part that's already entered into the industry, marijuana cannabis, which, speaking of butter, already has cannabis in it, that a lot of meetings and events are using. And he was talking about how the US is ahead of like Canada in that department. It's more acceptable. There's more flexibility. There's more acceptance in utilizing it. But I always picture that being at a meeting and event, and here you have cannabis or marijuana, brownies or cookies or pudding, that, everybody's going to be pretty happy.
That's going to
Right?
be the most exciting event.
I know. That's the conference I want to go to. But he did say that, there are some, trends out there with marijuana, cannabis, and other drugs out there. It's best to actually have them edible as opposed to smoke them. I didn't know that. I thought that was really interesting. Did you find anything else interesting that he spoke about?
The cannabis, I didn't realize, like, there's a whole industry around cannabis now. Like, I went to New York and I thought it was food trucks. They were cannabis trucks. Like, I'm like, that is not the ice cream truck. Girl, get away from there. My daughter, like, that's not the ice cream truck. Get back over
You're
here.
Right. Exactly. So that's going to be interesting, because I can see our industry really relying on that to help with the food costs as well. I think because it's so new that, marijuana, cannabis companies and want to get that out there. And why not? And if not, a lot of things are going to be happening where when you go to a city like Denver, and you've got your attendees that know that Denver is open to that. Phoenix, where I'm from, is open to that. There's companies that are delivering those products to the attendees at hotels, which it's like ordering a pizza, Why not order some marijuana too at the same time? So that's happening as well. I'm wondering what other future trends we're going to see when it comes
what's
to
the tip on that delivery? Like,
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Could you imagine? I know. Really, really interesting. Then he also talked about, how to wow the attendees. If there's, what new trend is out there. And he mentioned that there's a lot about local, buying local, which is part of sustainability. And I thought that was a great idea to know. And I see that more and more, is that, we're buying local so we can experience the local, the cultures, the customs, the tastes in those areas. I mean, when you go to, San Antonio, Texas, of course you want, the authentic Mexican food. You want the authentic margaritas, and beers there. So why shouldn't it be like that in any city, right?
What surprises most people is that because a lot of events are from the crowd is pretty much local or within a couple of hours, especially now with what's going on. And when they see the fact that you're willing to support their economy,
right?
Because they actually know, like, some of these farms, they're like, you pick your own. So they actually know some of these farmers personally, because they're allowed to go in there, pick their own, and they take it to the weigh station and they're able to pay for it and everything. So when they see that you're supporting the very same businesses that they're supporting, that goes a long way.
It does. And it gives a great message to the audience, the attendees, the participants, of sustainability, again, which is huge in our industry. Well, what we need to do now, I'd love to introduce and bring back Randy Clark, who is the broker for Efficient Health Solutions. And we want him to, for those that might have missed his what he was talking about regarding his company and how he got involved in the industry. We'd love to invite him back for those here in the afternoon as well. So let's bring Randy here. Hi, Randy.
Hi, everybody. Happy GMID Day.
Yes, it is. It is a great day.
For that party where they're serving the edible cannabis brownies, you'll have a bunch of happy people, and then in the corner you'll say, they have a group of people saying, "Are you talking about me?"
Exactly. It is.
Different
It is.
dynamic for sure.
Yeah, that was a fun conversation with him. No doubt about it. So you are actually, first of all, amazing. I have really enjoyed, and I know Bruce has, and all our guests, and now the viewers are enjoying the fact that you are our official title sponsor for our show here at Hospitality Today Live for GMID22. And we want you to share with those that might not have got a chance to hear from you this morning that you're from the hospitality industry already. You're servicing the hospitality industry with efficient health solutions. Tell us more.
Well, first of all, I wanted to thank you for your vision and for this opportunity to reach out to hospitality professionals. So I started my industry. I was fortunate enough to go to Hawaii in 2000. The director of sales who hired me was looking for someone who had no hotel experience but proven sales success. And prior to me going to Hawaii, I was in the jewelry industry and also in the cosmetic industry. So I had some success there. So I went to this island of Lanai and learned and lived in Hawaii for 17 years. And in 2015, I was at a trade show in Orlando, and it was a Connect show. And I met my wife. She was a planner. There is trade show love. And we were dating long distance for 2 years. And Chris Collinson, the president and owner of Connect, said he knew that we had met at his trade show, and he's very proud of that, actually. And he said, "Hey, I know you want to get to Texas and I want you on my team. What's it going to take?" And then 2 weeks later, 17 years of the Hawaii things were on their way to Texas. So I worked for Connect with their incentive program and some other things that I did. And then I became a contract worker. And then I was looking and saying, okay, what's a contract worker? And basically no benefits and no salary, just commission only. So I said, what am I going to do? So I was able to get my insurance broker's license because one of my wife's clients, actually, she was the CEO or COO of the company, Philadelphia American. And she said, "Randy, you'd be perfect for the insurance business." And I said, "Well, I'm a hotel guy. And she goes, "No, you should do it." So I got my broker's license, and out of respect for the company, didn't do anything with it. And then when I finished up with Connect, I started reaching out to hospitality professionals, meeting planners, because I noticed in talking with people, they had no idea that they could get insurance through brokers like myself. Most meeting planners are independent contractors, and they thought all they could do was wait until October, November for Obamacare, and they only had a 3-month window. But with me as an independent broker, I represent all the top carriers in the country, and I have this one brand that I suggest the most because it offers the best value, and it also offers some of the benefits are amazing with this brand. And it's been a great fit for a lot of meeting planners as well as hospitality professionals that were trying to avoid COBRA. I saved some families over $12,000 a year in their premium payments with better coverage. And it's just been great. It's been great to help people.
Well,
Nice.
we've really enjoyed having you here on the show, and gosh, it's been a great company that you work with as well, because here on the show, as I mentioned earlier this morning, is we've had several sponsors approach us for today, but yet I really like the fact that I have firsthand experience with you, knowing you for years in our relationship, and also as a customer of yours as well for the last, I guess, around 2 years now. And what I love about it is that there's easy access to what needs to be found on the website for the insurance company you found for me, and the people. I mean, there's customer service. They actually answer the phone and they help me out throughout. And on top of it, the best part is I receive checks in the mail. And I remember you telling me that was going to happen. And I mean, seriously, I'm getting money back from my own health insurance. How is that possible?
It's crazy, isn't it? And I told you.
It is.
So this is indemnity. And people say indemnity, what is that? And all indemnity means is to make you whole. So when you stay in network and I represent all the top carriers in the country, but Philadelphia American, small company that never advertises, they only work through certain brokers like myself, and I have to be nominated to work with them. They, about 8 years ago, decided to shake up the market, and they said, okay, with this indemnity insurance to make you whole, if you, for example, if you're on a plan that pays $120 for you to go to the doctor 20 times a year, if you stay in network, it's about $90 to go to the doctor. So with indemnity or defined benefit, you're on a plan that pays 120. The doctor gets his 90, so there's an excess of $30 there. So what Philadelphia American decided to do, they said, you know what, we're going to shake up the market and we're going to give that extra money back to the customer. So, and it's not just for doctor's visits, but it's for MRIs and it's for hospital stays and things like that, everything that you need. And all of the carriers have this insurance or this indemnity portion, but they never chose to give it back to the customer.
Interesting.
So that's what the difference is. And it's so funny. I mentioned this earlier this morning that I have friends and customers like yourself, they call me up and they said, oh my gosh, Randy, I got checks in the mail. Is this a Ponzi scheme? And I'm like, no, it's what you're paying for and you get back. You're paying for a plan that pays you to go, for $120. If it doesn't cost that, someone has to get that money and it goes back to you.
Amazing. It really is amazing. I didn't really actually believe you when you first told me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll probably get, $5 back once a year. Oh my gosh. I mean, these are just from this year. I mean, look at this, Bruce. It's like, seriously, I know I had a lot of catching up to do with doctor visits, but it's really kind of surprising. And now I kind of put that money aside for me and leave it, so my husband doesn't know. But I think it's such a great day, a great way to be very transparent. And of course, people need help today, and there's nobody better than working with you. I've never actually really enjoyed working with somebody for my health insurance before, but with your background here in the hospitality industry, any viewer that's watching right now for your company, your organization, or maybe even just for your family, Randy is definitely the man to contact.
Thank you. And I just want to real quickly, if you don't mind me, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
this is good.
With this insurance for associations, if there's an association, they don't have to pay for their members to get this insurance. But if there were some people that had pre-existing conditions that wouldn't be able to be accepted with this guaranteed issue insurance in the past, if they have 10 or more people just under their name, let's say some kind of Deborah's association says, okay, I've got 100 members. I have 10 that want to join. You don't have to pay for their insurance. You just provide that platform for them to get that. If you have 10 or more, the people who wouldn't normally be accepted are now able to get guaranteed issue insurance, so they can have
amazing. Yeah. And so I want people to contact you directly. We've got your email here and your website. Any other way that you'd want people to connect with you?
Sure. They can call me at any time. I pick up my phone and I'm a concierge service for everyone. It's a Hawaii number in Texas. It's 808-799-9789. And it's they can go to my website. If they go to my website and they're looking for some pricing on a quote, it's fully protected. No one can get your information. And it's a complimentary, it's a free, no obligation quote that they can put their information there, and I can give them an idea of how much the insurance monthly premium will be.
Perfect. Well, our official title sponsor here for GMID22 here on Hospitality Today Live, Randy Clark with Efficient Health Solutions. So we're enjoying our mug all day long here today, that's for sure. So we will continue on to our next guest, everyone. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.